Hello everyone, welcome back, Captain of Industry. We're picking up right where we left off in the last episode, so if you haven't seen that already, go ahead and go back and watch that one first. I have seen that, let's jump right in and get going. We are going to stay on 1 times the speed because we don't want to get behind on anything. Sometimes it takes a minute to remember where you're coming in at. We need to get some diesel set up. Well, let's just follow this. Need to dump slag. So we want to keep this empty. Oh, we set that wrong. Empty. Now you guys are going to take the slag and go dump it. We need to build a beacon. I don't really know why, but I always build the beacon right over here. As far as I've made it in the game, there's no inputs or outputs or anything on the beacon. There's really not any upgrades or anything. You just turn it on when you need more people and turn it off when you have enough. So it's okay to be over here kind of out of the way. Build another assembly 1 to produce construction parts. Okay. Didn't do that. Oh, it wants us to build 2. Okay. Build housing. Okay. So now we upgrade our housing or expand our housing. Not necessarily upgrading yet. There are upgrades later on, but we aren't there yet. So we'll build one right there. Limestone mine. Okay, so it wants us to get started on the concrete. To do that, we need a limestone mine. I believe is this one. Yes. So we will build a, just like previously, build a mine control tower. We'll edit the area. So you'll see this gray line. Just before I started recording, I read some updates that just came out since the last time I played. When you're editing the mine, mine area, it now shows the old mine area, but it's grayed out like that. That's what that line is. You can still just edit like normal. Like that. And then we need to set the mining designation. We're going to have them start up here. We're going to go down 4. Right, 1, 5. Okay. And we are going to flatten out, so they just kind of open it up like a big pit mine. Back here, mine all that out. We need to go here. We need 2 more of these and 6 more trucks. Actually, till we get some oil and stuff established, we'll stick with. So once those build, we are going to bump the speed up a little bit. Get some things moving. After we get the limestone mine going, we're going to have to do the diesel. We'll get the diesel up and going. We'll oil pumps and stuff like that. Our trucks are starting to arrive here momentarily. Yep, there's one. A few minutes we'll have our second excavator so they can come down here and start working. We're going to give them 5 storage down here. See, now we're starting to get new refugees. That's what the beacon does. Okay, let's see if our other is. Both of our excavators are ready now. So they'll come down and they'll start mining. Of course, they got to take the dirt off the top, which is, you'll see here, just dirt in that truck so far. But they'll get it. We've got that running. Build. Come right up here and do that. A rainwater collector for now because we don't have the groundwater pumps. So then we're going to do a kiln. Do loose storages over here because eventually we're going to get conveyor belts and stuff and we'll be able to pipe them in, but for now we'll have the resources nearby. We're going to pipe that water in there. So with pipes, the cool thing, trucks obviously can't drive them over them. Later on, you'll get some ramps, but for right now, you can push E. You can go up high. The trucks can go under them, and that works fine until you start getting the large trucks. So now the vehicles will be able to go underneath there. We need to do a smokestack here. And then I think the last thing we need to do is some storage. We do use a lot of bricks, so I'm going to put 2 or 3 in here. Just so we can kind of build up a little bit of a stockpile or a surplus. Got everything it needs but limestone to start making the concrete slabs. Sorry, they're concrete slabs. They're cinder block. But okay. See, we're filling up with coal here. Let's bump this priority up a little bit. And then as soon as we start actually producing some limestone down here, which takes a few minutes. You know what? We're going to do another right down here. Just for logistical sense. And then here, we're actually going to use a little bit of our Unity for currency to speed this up. That way the next round of trucks don't have to go as far. And now when they get dirt put in them, which is happening here, this guy can just go over here and dump the dirt. Oh, well, he will be able to once I do this. There we go. So that should actually bring them But now that we have that set up there, these trucks should not have to traverse the dirt so far. Put the limestone in there and take the dirt over here. And it just, I mean, that just makes sense to set up another mining station over here. It's a little bit of resources spent, but I think the reward will be worth it. Okay. 89 workers. We're going to let that go off one more time, and then we're going to stop or pause the beacon so we don't grow too quickly with our population. Okay, we'll just kind of let them hang out and do their thing. I don't know what this guy's doing. He might be just lost. But anyway, we'll start getting some concrete brought down here, or some limestone brought down here, and this will start going. So we're going to move on to oil production. We got to find oil. That's over here, actually. So we'll set that production up in like these two tiles, but we'll have to pipe the oil up. There it is. We're going to start with, I think, 3 of these pumps. That back off. We're going to put in... We got no research going. Let's see here. Right there. But that's in construction too. I want to wait a little bit before we get there, so we'll just deal with what we got here. Oh, I can do this. We're gonna go like that. We're gonna go like that. Here. I wanted a balancer because you can actually click on the balancers and set priority. You know, like priority input, priority output. We don't have them yet, so this is what we're going to have to work with here. So we're going to put our basic distiller right up here. Again, we're going to put loose storage for coal. That full. That is a high priority because we do not want to run out of diesel. Smokestack. We'll put another fluid storage over here. Then we got to run the pipe. So the cost of the pipe is the same if it's up in the air or down on the ground. Just in case nobody noticed that, it is the same. Later on in the research tree, well, actually now we could, but they use concrete. You can get ramps and then put the pipes right on the ground. And the vehicles can drive over them, but that costs more resources. So I generally just do it this way. And then the other thing we've got to contend with, we'll have to put in another fluid storage, but we're going to turn this one around because this is going to be all that wastewater. That will need to be pumped out. Unfortunately, the only thing we can do with that now is dump it in the ocean, which not a huge fan of, but I understand the game mechanics behind it. So we'll put that there, select that recipe for wastewater, and see that contributes to water pollution, so that'll actually bring our unity down. But we don't have a choice right now, so kind of have to do it. We're going to bring this one up as high as it'll go. We're going to kind of go over here with where are you? Sometimes the pipes in this game are a little wonky. And then we need to create some buffers for fuel storage. We'll put in 5 of these as well. And then we will pipe the crude in, and once this is all done, said and done, this can take off and actually start running. And here in a little bit, we're going to unlock rubber. Rubber will also, because it utilizes the same thing, will also go over here. Oh, there we go. See, it changed colors, and now my trucks are very busy. What are they very busy doing? I do wonder. Well, that is a good thing to be busy doing. So let's build a couple more. 4 more. And then see, so the next step will be rubber and then copper. So we'll dive into those as well. So my last video was almost an hour long, and for those of you who did go and watch that all, I do appreciate it. This one will not be that long. We're going to try and keep this one between a half hour and at the absolute most 45 minutes. These guys are all out of room. Give them a little bit more. We will need this, so having all this stockpile won't hurt us any. Worth the resources that we're going to spend. Normally I would build my diesel production right over in this area because both the ship and the generator will need it, but since the crude oil was so far away, we're just going to put in a storage, make it diesel, and we're going to keep it full, and then we will pipe it the generator and into the shipyard. This will refuel the ship once we start sending it out. We're obviously not there yet, but... And we may eventually run some pipes all the way over from the diesel production. We're not going to do that right now. And so we're going to turn the priority up a little bit on the diesel. Let's make it a priority 4 for right now and see how that does. And if we need to adjust it, we can. But it's certainly higher than 10, so... Well, we are going to get those researching. This is one of them games where it's really kind of cool because you can slow things right down and go at your own pace, or you can kind of just speed right through them. Obviously, the path in which you choose is going to dictate your experience in the game. I've done it both ways. I've sped right through doing these. As soon as these goals come up, I've started working on them. And what I have found, at least in my experience, is your build ends up being really clustered together and you're trying to find routes for belts and pipes and stuff like that, and it's very inefficient. So what I try to do now is just kind of go slow and have the foresight for efficiency. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what it's about. Let's see here. Yep, we got quite a bit of these, but you know what? I want a huge stockpile of these, so I think we're going to put in like 5 more of these. It's a lot of resources, but we really are going to need a lot of these later on, so... Now we have to do a rubber maker. There's coal right up here. I think... because everything is using coal, I think we're going to skip ahead a little bit here, which I know contradicts what I just said, but we're going to get a coal mine set up. Do that, and then we'll come over here. 2 of these, 4 of these. Now we'll edit this area. So we'll get the coal mine in that way, and we're going to set up like 10 storages to hold that because we are going to need it. Select coal. Coal. It's a high priority. We're going to give this 4 trucks and 2 excavators. We're going to let them go to town. This is copper. We're going to need that very soon as well, but we're not going to do that now. Here. the rubber maker. So this one produces wastewater as well. Put it up here. This takes diesel fuel. So we're going to pipe that in. Oops. And the wastewater, I'm actually going to merge that in right here because it's just these machines. The system can handle the output from the machines. So okay, I think we need to bump this up to a #1 priority for a little while to get it running. I'm gonna put 3 of these guys on for rubber storage. And that system is complete. Once it starts running, it'll start producing us some rubber. Look at that. Set it to priority 1 and it started running. So hopefully they can keep it running until we get our conveyor. You know what, I might just... That's construction 2 though. Let's see here. So it won't tell me what I need for construction 2 until I unlock that. Let's go ahead and do it. We're going to do it. We're going to unlock construction 2 and conveyor belts. And see what happens from that. We're going to also do irrigated farming, crop rotation, groundwater pumps, fuel stations, and this one right here, these advanced logistics control. That's a big deal because of this right here. You increase your vehicle capacity. You see right there, mine's 80, but that's going to increase at 30, so I'm going to go to 110. So we're definitely going to get every one of those we can. As far as research, that's as far as we're going to go for right now. We're gonna work with what we've unlocked and try to build some stockpiles up. Right in here, I think we're up here mining coal. We are getting some, but we need a lot of it, so we need them to get that stockpile formed. I will get this copper set up, get that running. We're gonna need a lot of that too. But right now, yeah, there we go. We need diesel to be stockpiling because the generators run off of it. It's needed to make rubber. You need rubber for conveyor belts, so and the conveyor belts will greatly increase the efficiency. You know, like here we'll be able to pipe these in so it'll just always, or conveyor belt them in so it'll always be going. We could technically do the same thing here, set up storage for the plates. Why do we not have enough plates? Because we're not making any plates because we're out of coal. So that's, let's do that. We'll prepare for getting the belts. It's gonna be iron ore, coal, 1, coal, coal. Then when we unlock the conveyor belts, we'll obviously build those to go there. Need construction parts. We need that to get going again. So this really needs to priority 1. We're gonna pause this guy. There we go. Back up. That's what I mean. You can get behind really quickly. Had we not noticed this wasn't producing plates and did anything about it, we would have needed several plates. And I guess if I was paying attention to the chart there on the right, I would have noticed that we were running low on plates. It's really easy to get behind in this game. Let's get some storage going for wood. We're going to make these an urgent to build. That's a one and done thing. Once they're built, they're built. Yeah, our power usage is creeping up there now, so we're going to have to get in front of that. We're just going to go build another generator right down here next to this one. And then we're going to just tee into this pipe and supply that one. That will double our electric capacity for the moment. And now we can see we need construction parts and electronics. So we're going to need a big stockpile of those. So now we can do, oh well, we can't at the moment. This one's gonna construction parts, parts, electronics, storage free. Do we need plates and vehicle parts? So I better build one of these. Let's do two. Good storage. Set those recipes to vehicle parts. And then we've got to get the copper mine set up. Don't have a choice now. We're doing trucks. So we start getting a little bit of a stockpile, and we're going to have to build some more excavators and more trucks and give each of the high value mines another excavator and more trucks. We did that. We used the Unity there so we could speed this up and get copper being produced. We also need to give this some storage. Now, hopefully we can just kind of let that catch up on its own. Can we trade for vehicle parts, I wonder? We cannot. Okay. See, now we've only got 6 left, so until we start producing more, that's all the trucks we're going to get. Yep, this is one of those spots I think I've managed to get myself into. I really need the conveyor belts, but I can't build conveyor belts without construction parts too. And until all this stuff starts running, yeah, it's just one of them things. We've got plenty of rubber stored up already. That's good. See, now we have U-shaped, which will haul the loose things. But you need construction parts and rubber, or level 2 construction parts. And same thing here. And we don't have any level 2 construction parts, so we can't really... This, we can actually go ahead and deconstruct this, and you do that by hitting delete. So I think what we're going to do temporarily is we're going to deassign these trucks from the coal mine. Delete the products out of them so they can go do other tasks to help us get caught up, and then we'll reassign them later. We need to get some of these buildings built. Now we're getting some plates so we can start getting stuff built. That's what we get, some more stuff being manufactured. We're going to set all this stuff to urgent. Just try and get it to push through a little bit faster, because the faster we do that, the faster we dig ourselves out of this hole. I've noticed that in watching the videos, when some of the people that I was watching get into these holes, they just give up and they start over. You don't necessarily have to do that, depending on how bad things are. We are not there. We are in a hole, but we can get back out of it. It's not really going to be that difficult. We are fast approaching our time limit here, so this will probably be real close to the end of this video, and we'll finish everything up in the next one. Let's see here. Everything is going pretty good. Stuff's getting built. That's good. So we do have a little bit of a stockpile of the copper plates, so we can get this stuff going, but we do need to get that stockpile replenished as quickly as possible. Alright, I think this is where we're going to call it on this episode. We'll be back in the next one to watch us come the rest of the way out of the hole and be able to continue expanding from there. As always, you guys, if you enjoy the video, the content that I'm bringing you, hit that thumbs up button. If you don't enjoy it, hit that thumbs down button and leave me a comment and tell me what to do differently. I appreciate each and every one of you that stopped by to watch the content. And if you could, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. That really helps the channel out. Thanks again, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.